Hey there, Discerning Shootist here. This is my after action report from that pistol clinic I took at the Marksmanship Training Center located in Lake City, Michigan here about a week ago. A little rundown on the class and the class is. What's happening is Marksmanship Training Center is offering 4 pistol clinics, starting from the basics through problem solving, dynamic shooting, such on and so forth. They're advertised as a 3-hour clinic for $40 for the average Joe. Class size is limited. And I've had classes here before, so I knew 3 hours probably wasn't going to happen. It was quite a bit longer than that, which I'm okay with. More bang for your buck, no pun intended. And I'm very happy with it, as I usually am. I've had classes there before. Not only is it a high caliber of training, it's very, very good training, and it's also very local to me, which is fabulous. But the guys there have real world experience and from either military or law enforcement. Some of the guest instructors are law enforcement. And it's always been a really good time. They're very down to earth and they're very knowledgeable. So, class that I took, it was basics. And in this case, we're talking about basics. Is what we did was we drew from a holster and put 1 round on target. And then we go back to the holster, draw from the holster, 1 round on target. We're trying to get repetitions. It's all strong side or appendix carry, either on the waistband or in the waistband. A lot of it's some safety concerns, and that's also, the requirements of the class. You had to have a semi-automatic pistol as well, which wasn't a problem for me. It was awesome. I got a couple hundred repetitions. I'm terrible. However, the base of this class was an established a baseline, and for us to progress and make it something that's easily trackable rather. And I think it was a big accomplishment. It was a long 4 hours for me. Sunburned one side of my face, so I'm changing my hat. We'll talk about that in another post. And I got tired, 250 presentations from the holster. That was a lot of work, something I'm not used to, because I don't carry it on the waistband holster. You know that I'm a big pocket carry, shoulder holster, ankle holster guy because of the needs of my job or the way I live my life. Well, that's not going to cut it for here. So I use a retention holster. It's on the waistband. It's a Safariland product. And it's actually designed for my Browning high power. More on that later. So I learned a lot, and I also have gotten written down. I have my baseline, and it was fabulous. Greg, the director of training there, is always a treat. He's humorous. He's very insightful. Made some jokes. So things like that. And you're always felt welcome. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, and it was like I was there last week. And so they have a lot of repeat business, but they also had a bunch of new folks there too. So it's awesome. I'm definitely taking the next one. It's called problem solving. So real quick on myself, I suck. I definitely need some work. A couple of things that happened that I bought my equipment. Wasn't really a big fan of how this turned out, and it actually took me a couple of days to think about it, how I was feeling towards the end. I was fumbling getting my gun on the holster. Well, as it happened, that's how that works. After doing that about 200 times, my thumb was pretty raw. So, and obviously that's not ergonomics, is not, or comfort's not what it's designed for, and it's good, and I got that. But in the last 20 draws, I cheated the envelope, and I just left it down like that, drawn in and out. Well, in the 200 draws before that, I created a pattern of behavior, which was the whole point of the exercise, where I'm jabbing my thumb down, releasing the hood, and then pulling my firearm or my handgun clear of the gun. Well, now that I'm not jabbing that hood down, I've already got the pattern of behavior where I jam my hand down hard at a time. So now I'm jamming the gun into the holster and twisting it, so then I'm having issues getting it back out. It took, like I said, it took its toll on me, that class. So, which is great. That's a good learning moment. It took me a couple days in reflection, and I'm sure I'm going to still learn more in a couple days and reflect from this. So, yeah, next time I won't try to cheat the envelope or cut corners, because it never gets you anywhere anyway. The reason I picked this selection is that, like I said, of all the concealed carry guns that I have and holsters I have, none of them are really appropriate for this. I couldn't bring my revolvers. So, Browning high power. Okay. 13 rounds, 9mm, Brown Tilly design. I got pink sights on there. Yep, I sure do, because I'm old. Or at least my eyesight's getting that way. Certainly seeing the value in a red dot. Next gun's going to have one. And talk about handgun technology for a minute. This was the bee's knees 85 years ago, 90 years ago. Okay? It's metal, it's designed, and it's actually designed, and if you look at the grip on it, it's designed to guide your hand appropriately, so fit it. Back 80 years ago, handguns were designed for one-handed shooting. It wasn't until the 40s when the whole two-handed shooting thing came about. 40s, or actually, excuse me, the 50s. Late 50s, early 60s. So, ergonomics, this gun was designed at. The problem is that when you start adding your second hand, there's not a lot of real estate right there. So the funny thing is I'm shooting it like I shoot a revolver. I'm bringing my hands clasped back here, which, 25 years ago was how that was done. And I got chastised a little bit about moving my thumbs forward and pressing on it. And the joke was made that, because now in the 21st century, guns are now more are ergonomic. And the reference was the Glocks, which I was laughing in the inside. I'm still laughing, but Glocks are anything but ergonomic. There's a couple that might fit your hand, especially in the newer versions of the Gen 5s, but that's not their main goal, the Glock. They're not ergonomic. Matter of fact, that whole style of shooting where you bring your hands forward and put your thumb up here, that was about trying to adapt to the Glock. So I thought that was really comical. Greg's several years younger than I am, so I think he always takes it with a grain of salt. So I thought that was really funny that he was talking about Glocks being ergonomic versus a Browning high power. So, now having said that, does a Glock do anything that this doesn't do? Nope, it sure doesn't. Holds a couple more rounds. It's cheaper to manufacture. Matter of fact, they don't even make this gun anymore. And one of the interesting things about the Glock, or pretty much any gun that's popular in the last 10 years, is that you can buy equipment for it. Like I did a quick search for not even a quick search, but an exhaustive search for a new holster. And this is for my Browning high power, and it's pretty much for what we're looking at to do on the range. It's pretty much this and a Phobos or some custom leather stuff, which I already own. And they didn't, that's not what I use them for. I wouldn't use my leather holster on the range and this kind of type of thing. Not so much the wear and tear, that's a concern. But when you get tired and stuff like that, that's not what I was trying to learn. I was trying to learn from this holster. So I'm going to stick with this holster. I'm going to stick with this gun. My first thought was I'm going to go buy a synthetic gun or a striker-fired gun. Nah, I probably wouldn't get a striker-fired gun. A synthetic gun. Try to be a little more modern. But I'm going to stay the course of this, and I'm going to do an evaluation of my equipment in a separate video after I've done all the other classes. So, the value of the class, I think they should charge twice as much for it. As a person that teaches classes, I learned a lot. Actually, in that 4-hour clinic, there was a lot of repetitions. I brought 200, 300 rounds with me. I didn't even shoot 200, but I was exhausted, and I did hundreds of repetitions, and that was the idea, is to learn that. It's not about going to a class to spend a bunch of money by becoming a bullet hose. It's about learning some techniques and setting a bar for yourself, and that clearly was easily established. And so, matter of fact, this weekend, I'm going to go out and practice on what I learned. Not only with this gun, but I'm actually going to take my revolver with me too, because I can. So, because it's my time. So, well worth the money. Next year they should double the price on it. I'll probably still take it. Or send my kids and friends and family through it. So, Marksmanship Training Center. Check them out. Their classes too. This is the Discerning Shooters. Next time, be good, be safe. Can't be safe, be good and dangerous.